Good evening and welcome to the Nevis Newscast for today, Tuesday, May 26, 2015. I am your presenter, Bronte Swanston Hendrickson. The next sit-in of the Nevis Island Assembly will take place tomorrow at the Assembly Chambers at Hamilton House. According to the order paper, that sit-in will commence at 10 a.m. tomorrow, Wednesday, May 27th. The Honorable Premier and Minister of Finance, Vance Amory, will seek leave to introduce and have read a first time the Nevis Limited Liability Company Amendment Ordinance 2015, the Nevis International Exempt Trust Amendment Ordinance 2015, and the Nevis Business Corporation Amendment Ordinance 2015. Tomorrow's sit-in of the Nevis Island Assembly will be broadcast live on Nevis Television Channel 8, while internet users can view the sit-in via live stream. The Ministry of Health, in association with the Pan American Health Organization, is this week conducting a workshop for health personnel here on Nevis. The Mass Casualty Management Workshop, which began yesterday, Monday, is expected to conclude on Friday, May 29th, and is being conducted at the Emergency Operations Center at the Llewellyn-Newton Disaster Management Facility. Minister of Health, the Honorable Mark Brantley, attended the opening ceremony and encouraged the participants to make a good use of the information.
This 5-day multi-sectoral training course, which commenced yesterday, 25th of May, is designed to sharpen the skills of first responders and others to effectively manage mass casualty events in resource-constrained settings such as ours in St. Kitts and Nevis. With 2 main hospitals, 2 satellite hospitals, and some 17 health centers, we recognize that a hazard such as hurricane, earthquake, or fire has the capacity to destroy health infrastructure and the infrastructure of other critical partner entities such as police and fire. So I would want to wish this training all the blessings of the Nevis Island administration. I would want you, the participants, to enjoy yourselves, but in enjoying yourselves also learn the critical skills. And it is one of the truisms perhaps of this kind of training, in that I as minister hope you never need to use it. But in the event that you do need to use it, that it's important that you do have it and that you're in a position to help us and help others.
Representing the Nevis Disaster Management Department at the ceremony was Projects Officer Brian Dyer, who emphasized his department's support of the training session.
A component of the of mass casualty is the communication aspect, and it is very critical that on the relationship between the hospitals or persons receiving the injured persons, the communication is very critical. We are an island or islands of finite resources. Monies are hard to come by. So it's important that our communications is spot on to minimize wastage of our resources, and that to be brought out during the course of the week.
The lead facilitator for the week-long workshop is Peter Burgess of the Pan American Health Organization. He expressed the pleasure of the organization to assist in the training and the economic use of resources. Dr. Judy Nisbet, who is coordinating the workshop for the Ministry of Health, emphasized the importance of continued training in this area.
As you know, we can expect a disaster at any time, and it is imperative that a large cross-section of persons, whether they are in health, or they are lay persons, or they are persons attached to the fire department, police department, it's imperative that they have some knowledge of mass casualty.
Workshop participants were drawn from both St. Kitts and Nevis and are primarily first responders. Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Honorable Mark Brantley, says he has held private bilateral discussions with Japan, Mexico and New Zealand on a number of issues of cooperation between those countries and St. Kitts and Nevis. On May 22nd, Minister Brantley met privately with the State Minister of Foreign Affairs for Japan, His Excellency Yasuda Nakayama, on the margins of the 18th meeting of the Council for Foreign and Community Relations COFCOR. He says he took the opportunity to thank the Japanese government for its ongoing assistance to the CARICOM region and specifically for its assistance with fisheries and technical assistance to St. Kitts and Nevis. The issue of greater access to education and training opportunities for St. Kitts and Nevis nationals in Japan and the ongoing issue of the fisheries complex for Nevis and its relocation to the traditional fishing community of Bath Village were also raised. Minister Brantley says this is an issue on which the new National Unity Government will continue to engage with Japan. The 18th meeting of the Council for Foreign and Community Relations convened in Castries, St. Lucia over the period 21st to 22nd May and heard from delegations from Sweden and New Zealand. The occasion was also an opportunity to convene the first meeting of OECS foreign ministers under the chairmanship of the Foreign Affairs Minister of St. Lucia, the Honorable Alva Baptiste. Coming up, Department of Agriculture to commission new shade house. The details after this break.
Especially for the country, I'm a ladies. The nice Nevis girl living on. It's sweet. Ladies, you ready? Come show me that you're ready.
Culture, Fit and Fun. Culturama 41.
Welcome back. The Department of Agriculture will climax Agriculture Awareness Month with 3 major activities this week.
On Wednesday, the 27th of May, we have the official commissioning of our shade house, the one that is just completed in terms of construction, and those of us who normally pass on the island's main road would know what I'm talking about. And so we'll be having the commissioning of that greenhouse on Wednesday at 9 a.m. That greenhouse would have been through the auspices of the Caribbean Agricultural Research and Development Institute, CARDI, as well as AICA. AICA would have done a lot of the legwork, and most of the funding was done by CARDI. And we want to say thanks to those institutions for all of the hard work they would have put in over the past months to make this project a reality.
Eric Evelyn is the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture. He also outlined the details of the ceremony.
During the launching ceremony, we will be having a couple persons who will be taking part and speaking during that ceremony. And after the ceremony as well, we'll be having an open day where persons who attend the ceremony can view what is taking place in the existing shade house. We do have a crop of sweet peppers there at the moment, looking quite well. Production is quite good. Colored peppers, of course, and persons will be able to observe what's taking place in the original greenhouse. And so we're encouraging farmers in particular to come tomorrow to prospect to see what is taking place with respect to greenhouse technology. Ask as many questions as you possibly can, and then of course we are hoping that you'll be able to take up the technology.
According to Evelyn, on Thursday, May 28th, the Department of Agriculture will host a ceremony at the department's conference room for the launching of its new website. The week will climax with a sale at the George Mowbray Hanley Market Complex on Friday, May 29th. Vegetables, fruit trees, and products from the agro-processing unit will be on sale. Lunch would also be sold. Evelyn also thanked all those who have supported the activities for Agriculture Awareness Month.
We want to thank all those who would have supported our month of activities, Agriculture Awareness Month, and we are looking forward to your continued support as we climax with these 3 major activities this week. Agriculture Awareness Month, of course, being observed under the theme, Strengthening the Drive Towards Food Security. Permanent
Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Eric Evelyn. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Education in the federal government, the Honorable Sean Richards, on May 21st underlined on behalf of the Caribbean states which make up the Latin American and Caribbean group, GRULAC, their support of the sentiments expressed in the GRULAC press statement. Minister Richards was one of 140 education ministers who converged at Incheon, South Korea to attend the UNESCO-sponsored World Education Forum 2015. A gathering of education authorities, experts, and high-ranking personnel from education-related international organizations. The education minister spoke at a GRULAC press conference. He said the Caribbean states endorse especially the need to step up the full implementation of education for all as a vehicle for meeting the learning needs of children, youth, and adults. The Education for All agenda for the Caribbean remains unfinished business, he said, adding that in the Education Agenda 2030, Caribbean states would like to see recognition of the specificity of their distinct education and training needs as small island developing states characterized by vulnerabilities of remoteness and climate change. He said the Caribbean states need further efforts to complete the critical education for all goal of access to primary education. He noted that with a few exceptions, the net enrollment rate for primary education in the Caribbean remains below 90% according to UNESCO statistics. The second area of priority is the need for strengthening the technical assistance and funding to develop appropriate technical and vocational training (TVET) programs across the Caribbean, in recognition that some 27% of young men drop out of the mainstream school system, becoming disenfranchised and unemployable, a critical area in future educational policy for all the Caribbean states. He said the Caribbean states encourage UNESCO as the lead agency for the UN Decade of Education for Sustainable Development up to 2014 to scale up its ESD work under the new Global Action Plan by focusing on policy, integration, educators, youth, and local communities in particular. The University of Virginia's Dr. Janita Richardson says among her favorite things to do when she returns to the Federation is to visit the Ivor Walters Primary School. Today, Dr. Richardson, on behalf of the University of Virginia and its partners, made a donation of educational materials to the school as tokens of appreciation of their partnership.
We want you to know that you have friends in the United States, and they love and greatly appreciate an opportunity to share with you some things that we've spoken with your principal about what you might need. So these are just some examples. We brought 2 suitcases full of things for you. We have books and crayons and chalk. We have lots of teachers' materials to serve as references for you. And we have lots of great reading books.
Avril Elliott is the education officer responsible for the Ivor Walters Primary School. She expressed appreciation to the donor for its continued support, adding that the materials will help to create avid readers and foster a love for reading among the students.
Reading over the years has been a problem, and I'm certain with this quality of materials, it is certain to improve in the future. So I wish that you would continue this relationship. We really value this relationship. We hope that it will continue to be long and fruitful and productive over the years. And do convey our best wishes and warm greetings to the University of Virginia. I wish to just say a special welcome to the colleagues who are here, the representative of the University of Virginia. We really appreciate your coming here. Okay, so again, on behalf of the Ministry of Department of Education, thank you very much, and best wishes for your future endeavors.
Principal of the Ivor Walters Primary School, Janice Richards, accepted the donation.
On behalf of the principal staff, myself, yes, the staff, and you, the students, we would just like to express our profound gratitude to Dr. Richardson and her team from the University of Virginia. We always look forward for them to come here, as Mrs. Elliott just said, and so I can assure you that we're going to put these books and these resources to good use. So thank you, and may God bless you.
The University of Virginia has over the past 2 years partnered with the Ministries of Health in St. Kitts and Nevis to conduct research on children with asthma and how to manage their condition. That's it for tonight's edition of the Nevis Newscast. Thank you for viewing. I am Bronte Swanston Hendrickson. Good night.